Koga and Kagome shouted in terror. "You fool!" Kikyo snickered as she tried to strike Ayame again, only to have Koga try and sidekick her again, to which she dodged the attack. "Ayame!" Kagome screamed as she caught the wolf girl, who was holding on to the wound of her chest in pain. "I am sorry, Kagome. I think it's safe to say I'm leaving you." Ayame trailed off, her breathing becoming soft. "You bitch!" Kikyo shouted as he began to fence with Kikyo once more, giving Koga the opportunity to rush to Ayame's side and to hold her hand. "Forgive me, Ayame. I couldn't save you," he said mournfully, squeezing the wolf girl's hand. "Koga, it may not matter anymore, but because of you I was able to live a strong and happy life. And not a day goes by where my love for you will die. I love you, Koga." Ayame trailed off, her breathing becoming shallower. Koga had no words. All he could do was hold Ayame's hand close to his heart while regret and pain formed in his sky-blue eyes. "I can still save her. There's time," Kagome said in a reassuring voice. She didn't even wait for Koga to respond. She simply put her hands on the dying wolf girl's chest and began to chant. "Flower of the sun, gleam and glow. Let thy power shine. Make the clock reverse. Bring back what once was mine. Heal what has been hurt, change the fate's design, and save what has been lost. Bring back what once was mine, what once was mine." Kagome trailed off as a golden light shone from her eyes. Shone from her eyes, hands, and the sunseed around her neck. The light caused the blood on Ayame's chest to fade and the wound to close up. When Kagome stopped chanting, Ayame regained consciousness and her breathing returned to normal. "Koga? Kagome?" the wolf girl questioned as she sat up, completely fine. "Ayame!" Koga and Kagome shouted as they hugged their friend close. "How am I alive?" Ayame questioned, confused. "I healed you with my sun powers," Kagome said as she and Koga released her. "Sun powers?" the wolf girl asked, raising an eyebrow. "I'll explain later. We have to stop my sister before she hurts anyone else," Kagome proclaimed, pointing to Kikyo, who was still fighting INUYASHA. "That crazy woman is your sister?" Ayame exclaimed in shock as Koga helped her up. "I said I'll explain later. We have to do something," Kagome said. "Maybe we can help?" Kagome turned to see Sango coming out of the cave with Moroku following close behind her, both more than a little roughed up. "What happened to you two?" Kagome asked in a worried voice. Sango and Moroku turned to glare at Koga, who was still holding on to Ayame. "While me and my fair Sango here were able to defeat the wolf demons in the cave, I'm afraid the fight has left us quite tired," Moroku stated a little breathlessly. "Kikyo's arrived, I've seen," Sango said, glaring at the scene of Kikyo and INUYASHA fighting. "Sango, Moroku!" Shippo shouted as he and Kilala flew over to the two who had come out of the cave after taking out the remaining shadow soldiers. "Are you two okay?" Sango questioned. "Yeah, we're okay, but I think INUYASHA could use some help with Kikyo," Shippo said, pointing to the dog-eared lord who had been knocked off his feet by the Moon Miko. "No!" Kagome shouted as she ran to INUYASHA's side, ignoring Sango's pleas to stay put. "Oh, how adorable, dear sister. You're willing to die for this pathetic, ugly dog," Kikyo started, but Kagome cut her off. "Shut up! All you do is kill and hurt people, Kikyo. Why? Why do you do this?" the Sun Miko said angrily, making Kikyo smile wickedly. "I simply am enjoying my life before it is time for me to return to my rightful place. And you do well to do the same, Kagome, since our time truly is almost up. Well, at least my time is longer than yours, since tonight will indeed be the last one you ever see." Kikyo trailed off with an evil chuckle. "What? What do you mean before we return to our rightful place?" Kagome questioned. Funny. I thought you would have known by now. Tomorrow marks the day of our 18th birthday, and..." Kikyo started but stopped when Ayame sidekicked her in the back, getting her away from Kagome. "Leave her alone, you ugly wench!" the wolf girl gritted as she pulled out her sword, getting ready to put up a fight, only to have Koga beat her to the punch by standing in front of her protectively. "Ayame, you and Kagome get out of here and find someplace safe to hide. Now!" the wolf demon leader demanded, as he turned back to Kikyo, only to see a sacred arrow hit the moon seed around her neck. Kikyo cried out like a banshee as she held on to the moon seed. which now had a small dark crater in it. Kagome lowered her bow in shock as her twin sister then started to cough up silver dust. "Why, you little!" Kikyo hissed as she tried to lug at Kagome, only to be cut off when INUYASHA pushed her away from the Sun Miko. Hard. "Damn it! This time I was so close!" Kikyo trailed off angrily, knowing she had been defeated and that her army had been destroyed, as she ran back to the moonlight and floated back up to the moon. She retreated again. Moroku trailed off, but he was still trying to catch his breath. "Yes, but it seems like this time Kagome really was able to do something serious to her," Sango said as Kilala transformed back into her smaller self and hopped onto her partner's shoulder. "Kagome! INUYASHA!" Shippo cried out, running over to the Sun Miko and the dog-eared lord. "Are you guys okay?" the little fox demon asked in tears. Kagome smiled softly as she hugged Shippo close. "Don't worry, Shippo, we're fine. Please don't cry," she reassured. However, the Sun Miko knew her words were really a lie for her part. What did Kikyo mean by "before we return to our rightful place"? What's going to happen to us tomorrow on our 18th birthday? She wondered to herself. "Kagome, are you okay?" INUYASHA asked, noticing Kagome's thoughtful expression. "Oh, I'm fine," she lied. "Well, then if that is all done, I think you and your group have some explaining to do, Sun Princess," Koga said, crossing his arms while Ayame and him stood in front of Kagome, INUYASHA, and Shippo. "Why, you!" INUYASHA growled as he then put his hand on his sword's handle, ready to take it out. But Kagome put her hands on his to stop him. She looked up at Koga and Ayame and then spoke. "You two might want to sit down for this," she trailed off.